For smallholder farmers in rural India, the line between stability and total financial collapse is incredibly thin. A single minor medical emergency in the family can wipe out an entire year of careful planning. To pay for unexpected treatments, families are frequently forced to make an impossible choice, liquidating their most precious and irreplaceable asset, their ancestral land. Once the soil is gone, the safety net disappears with it. In Barsona village, located in Bihar's Gaya district, a farmer named Reena Devi decided she was not going to accept that level of risk. She understood that surviving as a rural farmer requires building a financial safety net that actively protects the land, rather than just trying to barely survive off of it. Reena's first tactical move toward security happened off the field. She opened a small grocery shop right inside her village. This shop served a very specific purpose. It generated a reliable, daily flow of cash, which immediately broke her family's strict reliance on unpredictable seasonal crop cycles. Still, Reena recognized that the shop was only a baseline for survival. To build true generational wealth, the real economic engine had to originate from the soil itself. The steady income from her microenterprise served as a crucial financial buffer. With her daily expenses covered by the grocery shop, she had the freedom to take bold, calculated risks in her agricultural practices. Reena integrated into the Shri Vidhi Women's Collective, marking her formal entry into community-based agriculture. This diagram breaks down her shift. On one side, traditional methods demand expensive chemical fertilizers that degrade the soil. On the other, the Shri Vidhi organic system relies on precise root intensification and natural inputs, lowering upfront costs while maintaining healthy yields. Executing this transition was exhausting. Reena had to manage her grocery shop's daily operations while simultaneously running hands-on agricultural experiments out in her fields. Balancing two full-time, demanding roles in a resource-scarce environment carries a massive amount of personal risk. A failure in either venture could have set her family back years. By effectively balancing daily commerce with modern agriculture, Reena managed to create a highly resilient, self-sustaining microeconomy for her household. Initially, Reena faced a distinct psychological barrier, a deep fear of public speaking and being seen. But as her organic crops began to thrive, the tangible, undeniable success of her farming methods provided her with a set of facts that were impossible to ignore. Reena began to speak up at the meetings of her women's collective, sharing the specific results she was seeing in her own soil. A woman who once kept entirely to herself was now openly sharing data, debating complex methods, and directly challenging traditional farming norms. The community's reaction shifted rapidly. They stopped viewing her solely as the local shopkeeper and began consulting her as a legitimate agricultural authority. Because she possessed technical expertise that her neighbors needed, the necessity of teaching others eventually outweighed her personal fear of the spotlight. Her expertise eventually pushed her beyond her own village, transitioning from a local farmer to a sought-after master trainer. This map tracks the scale of her new role. She traveled from Gaya, Bihar, crossing state lines into Uttar Pradesh to reach districts like Prayagraj and Barabanki. Her curriculum was highly technical. She instructed other rural women on the exact, complex intricacies of the organic farming system she had perfected. This intellectual capital translated into a hard economic return. For a single 20 to 25-day training circuit, Reena earned an impressive 42,500 rupees. She successfully monetized her knowledge, creating a third, highly lucrative income stream completely independent of her local crop yields or her village store. Eventually, the exact threat we discussed at the beginning materialized. A severe medical emergency struck Reena's family. While this is the exact scenario that forces many rural families into ruin, Reena's training income provided an immediate, liquid safety net. She seamlessly funded high-quality medical treatment for her family in Patna, paying for the care without taking on a single rupee of debt. She successfully navigated the entire medical crisis without ever having to sell a single inch of her family's ancestral land. Reena Devi's mastery of these practices didn't just save her own farm, it provided a blueprint for how a single household can break the cycle of rural debt and keep their land for the next generation.